pretty good, and started having a lot of fun with it, and turned out to a lot. So we'll start this right now.
Good.
Right here. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name's Chris Peaks, and I'm welcome back to my little C show here. I got a special guest with me, Sergeant Major. Spent many years in the Army, overseas. How many years did you do, Sergeant Major?
38 months, 38 years and 6 months.
How many years active and
16 years active.
16 years active and 22 years in reserve. So I bet you got a nice little.
Yeah. I done pretty good.
Nice little pension. What was your MOS, Sergeant Major?
13 Zulu.
13 Zulu. That's what I was fixing to say. For some of us for some of the civilians didn't know what that would mean. Where'd you go to basic at?
Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas.
At San Antonio, Texas.
United States Air Force.
And switched over to the Army?
Yep. January 1975, I went to basic training.
So the Air Force didn't accept your basic training, or the Army didn't accept your basic training for the Air Force?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. So, how long did it take you to rise up to become a sergeant major?
Probably about 30 years.
30 years, because it does take a good while. Now, was you battalion, brigade?
Battalion.
Battalion. So you worked for you're the lieutenant colonel, right hand man.
That's correct.
That was I was telling back when I used to love telling stories. I said the one person that is untouchable in the Army, even to the chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, is Command Sergeant Major. I said, nobody messes with the Command Sergeant Major. I was at Fort Jackson one time, and I seen a buck lieutenant try to do a uniform correction on Command Sergeant Major, and he got put up against the wall.
Didn't turn out too well for him, did it?
No. He had to go see. The post commander later on that day, and another post.
Your rank don't exceed my authority.
Yeah. Another time I was
at Camp Shelby, I was at E7 doing a drug testing program for all the mobilizing soldiers coming through Camp Shelby, Mississippi.
Yeah.
We mobilized over 100,000 soldiers. I was drug testing coordinator as an E7, and I had an 06 come in one morning at 2:00 in the morning. I told him, I said, "Sir, I'm going to have to test all your soldiers." He said, "No, you're not. They're all going to bed." I said, "No, sir, they're not." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "General Honore, First Army Commander, said they will get tested when they come off the bus." He said, "Well, I'm going to show you who's in charge." I said, "That's fine, sir, but I'm going to explain something to you. Your rank don't exceed my authority." He made a phone call, and he come back 5 minutes later and said, "Platoon Sergeant, where do you want my people?" I said, "Line them up right here, sir."
Yeah, that that sounds about right. We was over there one day, and was getting ready to go to Iraq first time, and or excuse me, second time. I don't know why I said first time. Was over in an E4 and below day room, and these lieutenants came in there and ran all of us out, and they was in there watching porn for I don't know why much men want to sit around and watch porn together, but
I don't either.
I used to do that all the time, in barracks and stuff, and see 5 men sitting around watching porn together, and I'd be like, "Boys, we one step away from a circle jerk here, so y'all can watch it yourself. Well, these old guys sitting there watching porn, and we went around. We got Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major walked in there, and he walked in and he looked at him and goes, "Sirs, how are y'all? How are y'all doing today?" Fine, Sergeant Major. Fine, Sergeant Major. How you, Sergeant Major? He goes, I'm pretty good. Sirs, I really wasn't aware. When did y'all become E4s? And they said, huh? Huh? He goes, I'm just wondering when y'all became E4s. And they just looked at him funny. He said, because this is a goddamn E4 and below day room. Now, if you want to be an E4 below, he said, I'll by God make you one. And they scattered.
Oh yeah. When I was in Kandahar, I had to do a inspection of the barracks. Well, the living quarters. There wasn't no barracks there. It was
Yeah, I
tenement.
was in Kandahar.
You know, the self-contained housing units down on the far end of the airfield.
Yeah.
That's where we were at. Anyhow, had to do a health and welfare inspection. The only one I done is the first sergeant over there. And the only person that I got was a first lieutenant. Him and his brother had girly magazines in their hooch. And I would have let it fly if he wasn't such an asshole. But he was a real asshole. I said, so I burned him pretty bad.
Yeah.
First lieutenant. And in the first place, he shouldn't have been in there with his E4 brother.
Yeah.
They'd already gotten a fight a couple, 3 times, and the company commander come to me and said, "Hey, look, you got to do something about him." I said, "Yes, sir, I'll take care of him." And when that happened, I fixed it. So,
I mean, I can tell so many, you know, just stories about him. I mean, like it's just like, and I don't know what it was or how they got it, but I mean, it was just like, I've seen generals not say anything to a sergeant major, and uh, like I said, as a right hand man, you damn sure didn't say anything to the lieutenant colonel's right hand man, because he was
yeah.
right there with him. And
Well,
you
I
know,
was first. I was battalion headquarters first sergeant, so I was right there with a battalion sergeant major and uh, battalion commander. So, I was HHC first sergeant, which made me all them officers in headquarters company were in my formation,
mhm.
and they were majors and captains and lieutenants, but they always come to my formation because they want to know what was going on. Because I told them, I said, I really want you assholes in my formation. And I had majors come to me and say, sir, they said, first sergeant, we want to be in your formation because you tell us what's going on. I said, well, that's fine. Y'all, as long as y'all stand back there in the back, don't care in my formation, everything be cool.
Well, I always say it is officers need to stay out of NCO's business, and
That's right.
officers need to stay in the office. And I mean, being a high ranking NCO, and I know it got different with generals because, well, one thing I noticed with the officers that I served with, uh, the West Point guys were just a different breed. Dealing with those ROTC kids and those OCS kids, sometimes I just want to choke one of them.
Well, fortunately, most of the officers I served with were National Guard. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when we deployed to Afghanistan, we had regular Army units underneath us in our task force. And we had some regular Army officers, and they were dumbasses. And that's all I'm going
No,
to say about
no.
that.
lot of officers were dumbasses.
Well, they really were. They were weird people.
Like I was in uh, Kandahar Airfield, and I'd been sent back there. I'd got some trouble and got sent back there, and had us on some duty out there. And I was in control. I was in charge of 4 guys below me, and about I don't know about 25 feet away, 30 feet away. There was a major and an E7 walking, and they were just walking. They was talking, and we were just sitting there in the shade. Well, that major sees me, and he walks over there, and stand up everything. And he goes, "Who in the hell's in charge here?" And I said, "I am, sir." And he said, "Soldier, do you not realize that you are supposed to salute a superior officer?" I said, "Yes, sir. You're right." And I came to full attention. I saluted and I said, "Sniper check, sir." And that E7 that was with him busted out laughing.
I don't believe that. You know, that's crazy because Kandahar was a non-salute airfield. You know, you didn't salute at Kandahar.
Mm, no, not at all.
Now you go up to Bagram, you had to salute every time you walk down the street. I went to Bagram a couple of times, and I like to wear my damn arm out saluting people because it was all the multinational forces there, and everybody that had a little piece of silver on the collar, you had to salute them assholes. But at Kandahar, it was different. Kandahar,
You
you
did
didn't
not.
salute nobody, mostly because it was so damn nasty.
And he, and, I don't know how long he was there, but, just about nightly, we was getting mortared and they were shooting at us. And now here we are in broad daylight and your dumb asses
Rocket
won't.
attack, rocket attack. You remember
And
that English that English woman that was on the giant speakers when every time we had a rocket attack, she said, "Rocket attack, rocket attack."
to remember
It's
that,
such
I
a
do.
sexy voice saying "rocket attack" in the mortars and rocket was coming in. It was the funniest shit I ever heard.
I tell you about the maddest I ever got. I was sitting over there and this just shows you how much uh, back then Alabama's football's kind of down, but uh, they was on TV every week. Well, there we was. It was, I think it was 20, 26, 23 or 24, 23 or something. Alabama was behind about 30 seconds to go, and Alabama was getting ready to set up a game-winning field goal, and explosions. I mean, they start going off everywhere, and
Yeah.
they send us into the bunker, and I had to stay there for 4 hours and didn't know who won the damn football game.
What what year was you over there, Chris?
Let's see, I was over there from 2004, 2005, and went back for 6 months in 2006 to 2000 went back in 2006 and was there for 8 months.
Okay.
Spent a little bit of time in Iraq. I was pretty safe in Iraq. And for the most part, I was pretty safe in Afghanistan because they put me on guard duties, and I would be on a tower, looking
Yeah.
things over. But the only time I can tell you that I was really scared over there was is that I got switched to this other guard duty, and they would send me down there at the base coming in, and we'd take those people out of the trucks, hands behind their head, pull them back, and we'd start patting them down.
Yeah.
And at that, I'm in the kill zone. I ain't,
What was that uh, camp right outside of Kandahar East Gate? That's I can't. That's where the special forces folks were.
Now there was one that
I
there was
can't
one
remember the
camp
name of it.
there was
And that's
one
where.
camp there was one camp that I was on, and I want to say it it was Logman, but it was only thing was on there were special forces
Yeah,
and
and that's where we
range.
went out to get our Terps from. We had to
Yeah.
go out there every week and pick up our Terps and bring them back in to post, back
Hmm.
into to the airfield. I was down at Valhalla, the engineering compound next to the British Special Forces
Hmm.
in the prison. There was a prison there. Uh, Crap, I can't remember where it's at now. But anyhow, that's where they kept the high value targets, and the high
Yeah.
value targets were right next to our compound there at Valhalla, next to the wall on the. I think it was on the eastern side of Kandahar.
I think so. I used to go out there, and I could sit on those, and it would be so dark at night, and I could sit out there on those berms, and I could watch firefights just going off.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, now I remember when they first brought us in there. I was an engineer, and it was just a platoon of us, and they had the special forces guys, maybe a couple hundreds of them, and they went out hunting every night. Well, this NCO, he showed us around this place. Well, he showed us this one spot, and it looked like a giant grave. And he was sitting there talking to us. And now this is a perimeter of 7 miles long, and you got a company of engineers and those special forces guys who were gone every night. And that NCO, I'll never forget. He said, "If you ever get overrun and you hear the command fix bayonets, that's going to be the last words you ever hear."
Yeah. You remember all the camels outside of Kandahar
Oh yeah, yeah.
and all them little mounds that look like uh, crawfish
Mm-hmm.
uh, mounds where they were putting rocks on the mines on the
Mm-hmm.
north side of the airfield.
Yeah.
We used to drive around the airfield because we didn't have nothing else to do. We drive around the airfield and look at stuff, and that was the damnest thing I ever seen. See them guys out there herding their goats and camels out through the desert, and they'd be just damn piles of mines out there, and it
We
didn't
were
bother
go-
them.
we were going to out there to Logman, and it was like a 4 hour ride. And I remember we just stopped right in the middle of the road. Our convoy did, our 8 vehicles. And I was head NCO in that truck, and I was like, "Man, what are we waiting on?" And one of the privates said, "Sergeant, go find out." So I got out. I walked up there in front. And I said, I asked the lieutenant, and I said, "What are we doing?" And behind us was a ridge. You couldn't see anything. And down below us was just a field where it had it marked off with those strings where nothing was just a field of landmines. And I said, "What are we doing?" He said, "Well," he said, "we're just taking a rest." I said, "Well, let's rest when we get to the damn base." I mean, where are we going? We just start
Yeah.
getting shot at. You dumbass lieutenant, you gonna get us all killed out here?
Were you in a route clearance engineering company?
Was I in a what now?
In a route clearance engineering company? Because
No.
that's what my battalion done. When we got over there, we was task force night, and that was our mission: to clear routes. We had a couple of vertical engineering companies with us, and three separate companies, engineering separate companies. We
Base?
lost
Oh,
we
I'm sorry.
lost 7 soldiers while we
Seven.
were over there in our task force. We lost 3 soldiers from the Indiana National Guard the first 3 weeks was there.
Damn.
If you want to, I don't know if you've ever been to a dignified transfer ceremony. Be in country 3 weeks and you got to load up 3 of your soldiers up on a Manger flights. It ain't too cool.
No, I
Of
never
course,
had.
being the headquarters company, first sergeant, I was in charge of the honor guard that made sure that we got our guys out of the back of the M ramps and got them on the C-17s and got them back home
No,
with
I was
dignity.
lucky enough that I was not part of that. I mean, I was.
Now, brother, you better be glad you wouldn't.
I know I was going.
We put 11 of them out of my task force on airplanes.
I was on. I can tell you this. I was on a. I was going home for a few weeks, and there was about there we took some high casualties, and they was loading those boys up into a separate plane, and some of our fellas, I don't know where they got it from, but they got some alcohol and they got drunk, and 5 or 6 of them in there, they was laughing and joking and stuff right there, and about 30 seconds into it, I went off and can't you goddamn show some respect for your fallen brethren right now that you can't keep your drunk mouth shut up. I said, should bring every one of y'all up on charges right now. It just made me so mad. These boys ain't never, gonna see their families again, and y'all over here laughing, joking, thinking this is funny. Uh, uh, that just that set all through me. I mean, but when I was there, but to tell you the truth, man, what I was over there for, um, we were so short, and spread out. My main thing was I was uh, pulling guard duty, and would go out occasionally when they were so short. And I volunteered for it because I wanted to do it. I'd go out on a patrol and just to see what it was like. Lucky enough, I got back and never got shot at, but I wanted to, see what it was about, and meet some people down there. And, it was like going back 2,000. When people ask me, I said, it's like going back 2,000 years. I said, there's just nothing there. And that they don't have the value of life that we do. And somebody said, what do you think we should have done? I said, when I first came in the Army, I said, in 1993, I said, you got to understand, I think mandatory retirement age was, I think, 58 then. I'd met some guys that came in at 17, had been 40 something years. So, you're talking about Korea. That's what you called this man's army. They didn't like the fact that women was in it. Well, I think we should have killed every goddamn one of them and we wouldn't be worried about it right now.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I think about.
I hear you, brother. Hey, look,
I mean,
I need to go.
Well,
Look,
I tell you what, this has been a fun conversation, and let's leave this right here to cut it off because this would be a good spot. But did you say Tuesday night?
maybe if I can. I lost my
Because
wife a year ago today.
well, man,
Chris.
I wished I would not have
No, that's okay. She
talked to
was a
you then.
wonderful woman. She
I remember when that happened
she
now, and
she took care of me, and when I was deployed to Afghanistan, she is the best. She was the best military spouse that you could imagine.
yeah. Well, I mean, you don't know how bad I feel right now because
It's all right.
because I wanted. having this conversation with you, and and that was all about having about how we handle that in Afghanistan. I'm glad we got
Yep.
to have that talk. But a few 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5, let's talk again because I enjoyed this. But I remember now that when you said that when you lost your wife, and my deepest sympathies there, Sergeant Major, and I'm sorry about that, sir. And well,
It's okay.
I'm supposed to call you
It's
sir.
life.
You work for a living, but in a few days, let's go back and let's talk about some more war stories. And I want to hear you as a military man, your thoughts of how that Bush League thing went down in Afghanistan.
It was a shit show from a crap show, and we fought for the empire. The empire pays us well after we fight for them. So it's been the same thing that we lost this country in 1865 when Lincoln and his people defeated the South. There is no America. There is no republic. It's been a corporate country since then.
But how did they leave our people there? I mean, just abandon them,
Real
and
simple. It's money.
they cared nothing about those people.
Honor and duty has nothing to do with it. It's all about money.
It was that was part of our honor, loyalty, duty, respect, and sometimes it just makes me wonder: was it? I don't regret serving this country, but
No,
it's
me
not.
either.
Is but I look at it at the same time. This is not the country I served. If that makes sense.
Well,
Uh,
that's what pisses me off about people calling me a traitor when I fly my Confederate flag and I honor my ancestors. They call me a traitor, and them cocksuckers ain't even got off the couch.
son, that makes me want to fight right there.
Yeah, in a
That,
heartbeat.
that makes me want to fight right there.
I went to
And,
Afghanistan. I served the empire. I served it for 38 years and 6 months. Them sons of bitches don't have no. They they don't have an any idea to call me a traitor because I fly a Confederate flag, and I
uh,
will fly one to the day I die because my great grandfather
and I had plenty.
was Company B, 9th Mississippi Cavalry, Confederate States of America. He was an honorable man. He fought for what he thought was right, and I did the same thing.
Well,
Screw 'em.
what I always tell
I
people
hate
when
'em.
they start doing this stuff, I say, "Hey, that's my home. That's where I live. If you gonna bring an army down here in my home, oh, bring
I'm
it."
gonna kill you, or you
Yeah,
gonna kill me. One of
you're bringing an army where, and you're gonna do what? Okay, all right, come on.
I hate Yankees. I hate Yankees, and Yankees are not a geographical location. It's a mindset. I hate Yankees with a passion.
You said that the best I've ever heard because I know northern people that I love to death and think they're the
Me too.
best in the world. But the mindset is what you just said is the right word. You nailed it. I don't think I could have ever heard anybody say that better, Sergeant Major. I mean, because you're right. It is a mindset. It's not where you're from. It is a mindset. And you're
I
exactly
know
right.
a lot of Yankees from Mississippi,
Oh, I know a lot from Alabama, and I tell you something, Sergeant Major. One of
and
our
they're sad. They're
and
sad people.
I want to say his name because he's an admin of, I'm not going to say his name because he's an admin of another group, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. He's a self-hating Southerner, and uh, uh, everything he can do is put us down and make us bad. And his Blake is somebody that I just is like you said. He's a Yankee, and just the way he talks about the South just makes me want to just. I just have to calm down sometimes.
Well, one good thing about it, the internet keeps us from killing people.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
and yes,
The
sir. And
internet keeps us from killing people because if
if
some of
you
these
know,
people have said some of the things that they have said to me to my face, one of us be dead. So
Sergeant Major, I've told people this.
I guess this is a good thing.
I've told people this on online like this. I said, sir, I said, I can tell you this right now. There's no way that you would stand here in front of me and you would say this in front of my face. I said it just wouldn't happen,
Yep.
and I promise you,
Somebody gonna get their ass whooped.
because you're brave sitting behind here, but you would not say this to my face, and
Yep.
that's the truth. And I'll leave you this, and I'll let you go. One thing in my group, because I'm a military historian. I want it to be all about the military. I don't want to fight about slavery. I don't want to fight about slave rights. I want to talk about the military. But I do everything I can to try to honor Southern troops, United States colored
Chris,
troops,
you do a
Yankees.
good job in that group. You do.
I
You and
appreciate
your
that, sir.
admin, y'all do a great job. I don't agree with some of the things you do, but I'm gonna tell you something. I agree with everything that you do. You do a good job in that group, and keep it up. And don't, you know, there are assholes like Blake Hahn and a few others that want to come in there and stir shit up. And then there's other pro Southern guys that wants to come in there and fight the war over again on
Right,
the
and there's both
keyboard,
sides.
and it ain't gonna work. So y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm keep following you, and I think you're doing a great job. Okay,
You
bro.
see the night, I'll call Blake Hahn out in a minute. He said something, and I called
I
him
know
out.
you do.
I said do it, but
Blake Hahn's an idiot, but hey, you got to have opposition to say
and
what they want to say. Now, if they get off in the left field, break them down and don't let them comment. So you're doing a good job. You and your administrators are doing a great job. Continue on, and I'm gonna continue to follow you, brother.
I appreciate that, Sergeant Major, and I enjoyed this talk with you. Sorry for your loss, and I look forward to talking to you again, Sergeant Major.
All right, my man. You take care.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night.